Week 11, Thursday night football, baby. We're breaking down all the fantasy info you need. Let's get it. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this here is Senor John. John, how are you doing?
Doing wonderful. You know, you ask me that every time. We never get to ask you, Mike, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I just got back. I am a coach for a soccer team. And at the end of practice, I made them juggle the ball. Like everybody had to get in a big circle, and everybody had to touch the ball at least once before we could leave practice. And I joined in on that fun. I was a little out of breath, a little bit out of breath. So, but I'm doing great. Life is good.
Proud of you, man. Glad.
Yes. Thank you.
Glad to get everyone involved. That's the right way to do it. Good job, coach.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, anyways, it is the Thursday night breakdown. We've got New England going into Atlanta. Will the Patriots be upset by the Falcons, Sean?
More than likely not, but let's always leave room on the table for a yes here. A lot of teams upsetting obvious victories, so I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta could squeak a win out here.
I don't know the stats on this, but I am taking points every time I can now, betting wise. Like every time. Don't care. Taking points. Because I have lost so much money lately. Thanks to the underdogs winning. Actually, yeah.
You dedicated fans will notice the lack of betting episodes the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, no, we've done them. We've put our picks out in different ways, just not the episodes. But we'll right that ship this week. I'm going 3-0.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks here, John. Matt Ryan, Mac Jones. If you have to play one of them, okay, we'll just talk head to head. Who are you playing?
All right. Head to head, I'm playing Matt Ryan, even though he's playing against the Patriots. I want to say they're bottom 2 in points allowed to the quarterback, but I still like the opportunity for Matt Ryan to put up big numbers in that offense, especially with the fact that Cordarelle Patterson's looking to be a game time decision tomorrow. I'll take the bet that Matt Ryan can get 2 touchdowns, 250 yards before I take the bet that New England does it. They like to use the running backs. Give me Matt Ryan in that situation, but I wouldn't play either.
You wouldn't play either. Okay.
Wouldn't play either.
So you're taking the over on 1.5. That's plus 125 passing touchdown right now. That's plus 125 odds, John.
I'll take it. That's pretty fair.
All right, put your money where your mouth is. Let's
go.
$5,
not my house though. You know.
Oh, you're not putting your house out. Then it doesn't.
Let's
really
understand.
Count.
Let's understand the security of that bet. I'll throw $5 on it. Nah,
does it really count?
Here's my next paycheck. It does count. Man. Yeah,
it definitely counts.
Confidence behind the bet means a lot.
Listen,
it lets everyone else know.
Ask me. You can lose a lot of money putting $5 bets out.
And also remember, confidence behind bets does not mean anything. Dalton Schultz 4.5 was an absolute lock.
Yeah, he got 4.
He wanted to hit it more. They just told him no.
Oh my!
They're like, sir, you've got 15 $5 bets on this one bet. Well, we're gonna have to make you change it up, or do you want to put more on it?
Yeah, you want to put more? Put more. Keep putting more. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I'm leaning that Matt Ryan way. They're the last couple of weeks they haven't thrown the ball a ton. But I do think that they are gonna have to throw the ball a ton this game. They're probably gonna trail, honestly, and have to push the ball downfield. Also, Cordarelle Patterson is hurt, a little bit banged up. I don't know his status off the top of my head.
Oh, you must not listen.
I do.
Game time decision, bud.
He is game time decision. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I'd lean Matt Ryan. However, I do think Mac Jones, he's very touchdown dependent. So I could see him throwing a couple touchdowns and being, a high-end quarterback too, but I'm not betting on it. I think Mac Jones just reverts to, a 15-point week, 10 to 15-point week. The chances he gets over 20, even against this bad defense, are pretty slim. Damien Harris has cleared concussion protocol. So I think it's just going to be a run game. I mean, this Falcons defense is not very good.
Yeah, these are in this situation with Matt Ryan up against New England's defense. We're looking at two quarterbacks with low ceilings and low floors. Best case scenario, they're weak streaming options. There's probably a better streaming option out there for you, though. So like I said, I'm sticking away from both of them in this game if I can.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the running backs. Are you confident? In my opinion, I'm not playing Brandon Bolden. I don't think there's enough value there, or enough. There's better value. I'm sorry. There's better value for a weekend. Somebody who's playing on a Sunday that's going to flex in. There's more teams to pick from, better options. He is also questionable. So definitely staying away from Brandon Bolden. After the week that Ramondre Stevenson had, though, and Damien Harris being cleared, what's your outlook on this backfield?
I think we're going to see a hodgepodge of a little bit of Harris, a little bit of Stevenson, and then a minute amount of Bolden just to mix it in there. I think with the way that Ramondre has been working, Harris gets his 15 to 20 carries per game, drop down to about 18 to 12, maybe taking away like 3 total carries. Like he's still going to get his 80 yards ish if he runs efficiently. I just think that Stevenson turns into a really, really, really weak flex option with a lot of upside with his breakaway run potential. But Damien Harris kind of takes a hit with the fact that I think that Ramondre gets a little more work.
Yeah, I think both of them do at the end of the day. And honestly, if you're playing either of them, this is how I'm looking at it. You're hoping they get in the end zone. Yeah. If you're absolutely desperate, you're banged up, whatever it may be, if you're playing them at that running back 2 spot, just hope they get in the end zone. It's Bill Belichick at the end of the day, so I'm not confident. I'm not confident in who's going to be starting. I'd lean Ramondre because he's coming off of a very solid week, 2 solid weeks in a row. Actually, he averaged 6.2 yards a carry in week 9, very good. And he averaged 5 last week on 20 touches. So I'd lean Ramondre just because of recency bias. And maybe they kind of want to hold Damien Harris. I know it's just a concussion, but ease him back in because he was a workhorse there for a few stretch of games. So I lean Stevenson, but I'm not confident in either. And I do think that they kind of just become, I don't want to say desperation plays, but you're hoping they get a touchdown, like I said. So
yeah, I mean, you're really just looking at. I mean, we know Harris isn't going to be the pass catching back out of that backfield, and Stevenson can handle that role. So maybe we're looking at a situation where Harris still gets his rushing attempts, but then we still see Stevenson come in and play that James White role that we know Belichick always has one of on the team. But even then, the upside's there. It's also huge ceiling with low floor.
Yeah. Are you taking that low floor?
I'll take both of them over Mike Davis or Wayne Gallman.
I will as well. Yeah, I don't like Mike Davis, and I think Wayne Gallman is a desperation
play. Yeah, I'm making that desperation play this week.
Oh, nice. I think I am too. It's a 3 flex league, so nice. I have got 2 as well. Yeah, so he's desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there.
Thank you. Yeah, desperation play, flex option. If absolutely desperate, if you need him in the running back 2 spot. Actually, that's probably you've got better options to go in the flex spot, guarantee it. But he could get his 15 touches, especially if Cordarelle Patterson doesn't play. Let's talk about that. If Cordarelle Patterson does not play, I will play Wayne Gallman as a running back 2.
I would play Wayne Gallman as a running back 2 if I'm struck by injury or have some bye weeks out this week. Yes.
Cordarelle Patterson does play.
I'm not playing any of the 3 of them.
Are you not playing Cordarelle Patterson?
I don't think I'd play Cordarelle Patterson coming out of a game time decision. Yeah. A quarterback with a game time decision is one thing, but a running back that's questionable to play a game.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. Because God forbid you play him and he gets hit on the first play
or plays in, he's out for the rest of the game.
Exactly. And you don't want that to happen on a Thursday night. No. I don't think it's worth the risk. Now let's talk about the receivers here. As far as the Patriots go, in my opinion, Jacoby Myers is really the only guy there that's going to show any sort of consistency. I know Kendrick Bourne's coming off of a very solid day. but I just don't think it's going to be consistent.
No, none of the receivers out of New England are going to be consistent, and we've seen that so far this season. It's more of the only consistency you get is coming out of Hunter Henry. Outside of that, the ball's primarily going to go to Jacoby Myers, but even then, you're not getting big chunk plays. You're not getting huge yardage days consistently. I think that you can play, if you have to make a desperate play, though, you can use Bourne, Aguilar, Jacoby Myers as a weak flex option if you're getting desperate. Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne probably readily available on your waiver wires. I'm sorry.
Would you play Kelson Bourne or Kelson Bourne? Kendrick Bourne or Nelson Aguilar or Wayne Gallman?
I think I'll play Wayne Gallman, especially if Cordarelle Patterson doesn't play, definitely Gallman. If he does, probably going to be leaning on Gallman again, just because I wouldn't be sure which one to go with. Last week, I thought Aguilar was going to be the one that was going to have a decent day and get a little bit of extra work out of there. But it was actually Kendrick Bourne that got that big play and the touchdown and kind of walked away with it.
Yeah. So as far as the wide receivers on the Falcons go, Russell Gage, Tajay Sharp, are you, Olamide Zaccheaus, he had 7 targets last week. Are you interested in any of these guys?
Honestly, if I had to take a shot on any of them, for me, again, it's going to be Zaccheaus. He seems to be the only one that's getting targeted every game and not walking away with duds. And I also think that Russell Gage has the biggest bust factor, in my opinion. He's the biggest boom bust opportunity on the team. And
he's been busting a lot.
I mean, he's either 10 points or 0. If you're going to take the shot, hey, it's been 10-0, 15-0. We're in line for possibly a 20-point game. And then 2 weeks from now, it's 25. You got to follow the trends, right? No, but realistically, none of these guys are very hot on my list. But if you're looking for someone playable, you can expect maybe 6 points out of one of them at upside if they don't get a touchdown.
Yeah, it's hard for me. I think Russell Gage and Zaccheaus are really the only options that I'm truly interested in. I'm not interested in Tajay Sharp. So if Cordarelle Patterson doesn't play, I think Russell Gage and Zaccheaus do become options. I think Olamide Zaccheaus becomes a better option based on the fact that I think he's going to get more targets. And Russell Gage will probably draw JC Jackson. Or
and let's keep in mind we've got no Hayden Hurst this week. He's ruled out for the game, so we're down one of their pass catching options. So I do see that especially if they end up behind needing to pass the ball, we'll probably see them get some targets. And I think Zaccheaus, I think Zaccheaus can be a weak flex option. That's my goal here.
And let's move on to the tight ends, and then we'll get out of here. Hunter Henry, man, finding the end zone. Start of the week last week, baby. 4 for 37 and 2 touchdowns. He said, Michael made me his start of the week, and I'm going to deliver. And he did. Is he going to deliver again, though? He's going to get a touchdown. He's going to get a touchdown.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, hey, okay, it's trending. He's getting these targets week in, week out. 2 catches last week, or 2 catches last week were in the end zone. He only got 4 in total.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's getting like blitzed with targets. He is touchdown dependent, but when they come this consistently, it's hard to say no. My problem is, how long does this last? But looking at that receiving core in New England, he is the red zone option there. And I think that you can expect, I think you can play him. He's got tight end 4 number right next to his name, but I still think he's a low end starting tight end and a high end streaming tight end, but you're going to be having a hard time rostering him. I just don't trust the touchdowns to be so consistent.
Currently ranked 4th in red zone targets for the tight end spot. So, and at 11. So yeah, I mean, he's also ninth in routes run. At 200.
What is he at in targets though?
33. Targets, 42 targets on the year, 16. But remember, Jonnu Smith didn't play last week. He's not getting, high number of targets, but he's getting valuable targets, and he is getting targeted pretty consistently. He's only had one game with 2 or less, which is nice. So yeah, I think, obviously you're not playing him over a stud tight end, but I would rather play Kyle Pitts.
You know who he reminds me of? Robert Tonyan.
Yes, he is. This
Robert
year's
Tonyan.
Robert Tonyan. 100%. Great job, John. Yes, definitely. That is a great comparison.
And he's already had 7 touchdowns. So he's only got 3 more for the season before he's completely nothing. So we've got a couple more games to go, guys.
And he's currently tight end 3 or 4, depending on your format. So if he finishes at that tight end 3 spot, this is Robert Tonyan all the way. Kyle Pitts must start.
Absolutely. Possibly the only good receiving option on the team this week. He must start. He's basically a receiver.
Are you interested in Jonnu Smith at all? If he plays, it's questionable.
No, as a tight end start, I think I'd rather take the shot on Henry. If I don't have Henry, then I'm sure I can find a better option on the waivers than Jonnu Smith. I mean, yeah, he might get the touchdown, but I'm not taking the shot on it.
He's only had 1 touchdown this year.
Yeah, he hasn't played. He hasn't played that much either.
No, that's true.
He's played in a majority of games that hasn't gotten a lot of snaps. So yeah, no, not a very fantasy friendly tight end over there in New England.
No. So yeah. Anyways, how about defense? Obviously you're not playing the Falcons defense. I think the Patriots defense could be pretty solid.
I think the Patriots defense is a solid start. They're currently ranked the 2nd overall defense in this format that I'm looking at.
Yep. Last four weeks, they've really turned it on as far as turnovers go and things like that. Had 2 touchdowns. So
14 interceptions on the season, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 defensive touchdowns. Damn. 24 sacks. Wow. And other defense is playing pretty stellar. Well. Yeah, you're definitely playing New England if you got them.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. That is it. Thursday Night Breakdown. Tomorrow we will be releasing our must starts and sits, and we are also going to do a live stream. Stay tuned. Tune into Twitter for that. We will probably do that on Friday night, but tune into Twitter at the Fantasy Tap, and we will keep you guys updated there.
All right, guys, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, the follow button. If you are watching on the podcast, leave us a review, and then also the Discord chat down in below in the description. Make sure to join that, be a part of that, and get some more use out of following us there, a little more active as well.
So, all right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We love you.